Israel has become a global source of innovative technologies that save lives, strengthen our security, and solve problems in entirely new ways. Up Close with Israeli Innovation gives you direct access to the ideas, technologies, and breakthroughs shaping tomorrow's world. I'm your host, Eran Friedman. Thank you for joining my podcast, Up Close with Israeli Innovation. Hi, my name is Eran Friedman, and welcome to my podcast, Up Close with Israeli Innovation. Today's guest is Eran Attedgi, the CEO and co-founder of CereBI. Hi, Eran. How are you?
Thank you. I'm great. Thank you for the introduction. I'm very, very happy to be here. And this is I think, my first podcast interview.
Oh,
So,
wonderful. I feel
yeah.
honored. Thank you. Let me give some background. So Iran spent his career leading operations in environments where failure was not an option, from helping scale Israel's largest COVID-19 testing operation to as many as 80,000 tests a day, to running manufacturing businesses and supporting national-scale defense procurement under wartime constraints. Across these diverse environments, he encountered a hidden problem that repeated itself. Organizations were surrounded by systems and data, yet still had to make critical decisions with fragmented context and limited visibility. That realization led him to co-found CereBI, where he and his team are building an AI-native operational intelligence platform that detects emerging problems, understands their ripple effects, and turns insight into coordinated action. Wonderful. Very, very exciting. Eran, I'm very happy to have you here today. We've had some interesting discussions already, and I'm just thrilled to interview you and have our audience, our joint audience, learn more about you and about CereBI. So I'm going to ask you 5 questions, and of course I've prepped you so you know what the questions are. Our audience knows that these 5 questions repeat themselves every podcast, and I'm going to shoot for the first one. So, how will the world be different because of your innovation?
So the biggest, I think, change, we're talking about innovation, right? So the biggest change is that physical economy will stop operate in a hindsight. Today, many global supply chains are still together by legacy systems. So spreadsheets, like the gathering data from spreadsheets, WhatsApp groups, and most of the time there is a person named David who somehow know everything and where is everything. So today, when something goes wrong, information is usually scattered across different systems and people. By the time report turns red, the organization is already reacting to a problem that has become expensive. And we are at CereBI building a future which every complex enterprise has an intelligent operational layer, a layer that can see disruption forming, understands how it ripple across business and help organization respond before it become major loss. And that's a big issue. So, and another thing that the impacts goes beyond efficiency. It means more resilience, supply chain, fewer operational surprises, better service for customers, and I think far less spend time on fighting fires. That we saw that all the time. That companies all the times are need to react instead of being pro-reactive in their daily. Um, Ultimately, we want supply chains to stop behaving like collections of disconnecting system and start behaving like coordinated learning organization. And I think that's a huge this is one of the huge impact that we want to bring to the industry.
So you're saying supply chain, does it cover, but I also heard you mention other areas. So this is a problem that exists in various processes, various organizational processes, one of them being supply chain, where there's that one person who knows everything, but that one person may leave the office, may leave the job, may not be there, may not be available, and the organization in the meantime relies on that person or on systems that are outdated, that there is no coordination between them, and may present a problem after it's already become a lot more expensive or a lot more problematic.
Yeah, and we don't. Yeah, first of all, yes, and second, we don't want to replace David. David has a lot of problem. He's not the issue. The issue is that David came every morning to the office and start his morning like every day, every week, every quarter, trying to understand what he need to do. He opened his computer and see 10, 15, sometimes 100, sometimes 300 different platforms. Like we saw like a big shipping company that need to handle with more than 150 different platforms just to manage the whole operation. And when he need to understand platforms that operate people, machines, agents, money, whatever. And he need to try to collecting and try to assemble this big puzzle. There is no human being on the planet that can do it well.
Yeah,
And we see it all the time because they are bleeding money and they're not able even to maximize their potential.
so this is actually a great segue into the next question. So you've defined, you've talked about the problem, you've talked about the challenge that organizations face. Now, how does your technology make that possible, make that solution possible?
This is one of the thing. This is the best question that I already really happy to answer because we are at CereBI building, we create a living digital twin. And this is probably a name that you heard a lot of organization, operational, everyone want right now digital twin. So we are seats above the system of a company that already use and build a shared operational model of its orders, even inventory, shipment, facilities, like I said earlier, machines, agents, constraints and dependencies. So the digital twin sits above all of these objects. Our AI continuously investigates that environment. Every object is tested. Every entity, even if it's a human being, a machine, a process, an agent, it's identifying emerging problem, traces their likely causes, understand their ripple effects, and translates them into business impact, time, cost, service level. And one thing that we don't see a lot of platforms do, reputation. The reputation is very, very important to business, to supply chain managers. I have really a ton of stories that supply chain managers said, I would pay twice just to keep the reputation, just to not make a loss that will hurt my good name. Or when I say good name, it's the good name of the supply chain manager or the company or both. From what I'm saying, so detection is only the beginning of the platform. A dashboard, you see it a lot through the years, can tell you that a building is on fire, that you have a problem over there. CereBI is designed to identify where the fire is started, what will burn next, and what to do. before everyone schedule a meeting about it and try to understand what you need to do. So the system recommend to you what's the best course of action and what is the permission that defined by a customer. And we are helped to execute the response by assign a new task to the end users. We are coordinate people and updating all the platforms that CereBI is connecting to them. And what
So,
makes us really, really different but it's the combinations of the context. That this is the sauce, the context to understand the consequences and actions. So most systems tell you what happened. Some of them gonna tell you and give you predictions and tell you what's gonna happen. We built a platform that understand what it means for the entire operation and help the organization to do something about it.
and then you're saying it actually updates the various systems that it's connected to.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
so it collects, so it sits on top of existing systems. It collects data on a continuous basis. It knows how to identify problems that are building or problems that are forming, and it knows how to suggest a response and to identify the impact of what would happen if there is no response, or what would be the result of the response itself.
Yeah, because I understand the context that David from the operational there and Jennifer from the sales, and I understand what it's very, very important to the CFO and the projection that he already gave, and the guy from the customer success. So, and we scattered not just data from platforms. We took data from WhatsApp, from mails, from every organizational data. And more than that, we take data from the web that is connecting to the business, whether if it's a weather, it's a traffic, it's a stock market, it's a Trump tweet, whatever. If it's could be effect on the business, we there.
Amazing. So it's actually it's connected with external sources of data, and it measures their impact, or provides insight about their potential impact on the organization. It goes back to the reputation of the organization as well.
Right.
Amazing. I knew it was amazing. I knew before. That leads me to my third question. Who are the partners, customers, and investors you hope to bring into your ecosystem?
So the center, I think that the center of the gravity for us right now is customers and strategic partners. So this is our main focus, and we want to work with organization that where operational complexity has a real consequences. That includes global manufacturers, retailers, aviation and aerospace companies, shipping and logistic providers, and other enterprise managing a large interconnected physical operation, and where we gonna bring our AI, physical AI to their business. So I think that the strongest partners right now are organizations that understand that fragmented visibility and slow decision making are not merely IT problems, they are a business risk. And we see it right now. We see partners who want to solve a real expensive operational problem, not just run an AI pilot or just to put an AI on board a presentation. On those customers, we want to build an ecosystem that includes technology and data platforms, logistic providers, system integrators, and domain experts. And we're gathering them right now, and think we do a pretty good job on that side. I will say on the investor side, we value partners that who understand enterprise AI, how they think, complex industries and category creation, because we are really on a category creation. We built something new and who can contribute strategic access and global relationship. That's not just capital. So this is something that we one of our main focus right now. Yeah,
So
so that's
you
it.
mentioned global. So which markets are you, what's your primary focus right now in terms of
Right now, it's
geographic
retail
markets?
and retailers and shipping. Um, but I will
US
say
market?
that
US
retail,
market?
US market, yeah, US market, and of course we're open to Europe, but this is our main focus right now. Where on a US market, we are uh, already speak with we're in a big process over there right now.
Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. All right. Well, it leads me to my fourth question. Why has this problem remained unsolved until now? I think I know the answer to that, but let's hear it.
You want to answer about it?
I'm gonna guess, well, that it goes back to what you said earlier about being connected to systems and collecting data, which is what, sort of dashboards is what the solutions that have been out there. But this ability, probably with the development of AI, the ability to then take data and associate insights with it and recommendations and close the loop on it and all that, and assign permissions or areas of responsibility, or that complexity, which is typically associated with human abilities, is now becoming more and more available from a technical perspective because of AI. Did I hit the nail on the head?
Definitely hit the thing. So the like what we saw that most of the companies are understand, like when we are speaking with big companies that they need to gather a lot of information from different platforms. So they understand that there is a problem. They understand they are bleeding money. They understand that they are not able to grow because no matter, all right, so take another platform, take another, so they're not able to grow, like it's like a plateau, and they go up till plateau, and CereBI goes over there to see that traditional enterprises software digitized individual functions, procurement logistics. So I will say that for 30 years right now, companies bought, and we see it a lot. I spoke with a lot of CEOs that bought more software to solve fragmentation, and somehow they ended up with more fragmentation. So until recently, technology was not able to capable of continuously reasoning across such fragmented, dynamic, and highly contextual environment. And well, I'm talking about relational data, unrelational data, and data that's scheduled from different platforms in different languages. So organizational now, from my perspective, are have far more digital data, and now they are way more matured and are now understand that AI is not a hype, and we gave them the possibility to interpret a context,
Hmm.
investigate the relationship in their company, and coordinate actions at completely different level. We gave them the availability to in a one digital twin to see everything, to see how their salesperson and how the operational manager react between their machine, their other people, the whole process, and who save time and who save money and who make them grow bigger through the time. So CereBI build reusable libraries of that operational knowledge, allowing our models and implementation to become deeper and faster over time. And I think this is one of our core technologies.
So it's a learning process also for the software. It's not just it's a technology that learns and analyzes its own behavior over time. So it sounds like what you're saying is that organizations, in order to achieve as much of this kind of result as possible, were acquiring different solutions, discrete solutions, which created a lot more complexity in the organization, whereas CereBI is one platform that connects to the various touch points in the organization and knows how to do some kind of orchestration, essentially, of the data, and then extract the intelligence from it and learn over time and be able to make better recommendations or provide better insight. Is that a fair description?
Yeah, that's a great description. And and above all that, like I would say, like imagine like a matrix, like a graph with different dots. That every dots it's a different object. It's like me and you on a different dots. And so CereBI assessing the uh, different object, even like it's human being, like what is the potential, what is best potential, and what is his risk that he's carrying, and what is the best impact for him in a current situation. And we gave a recommendation upon the data that we take from the data that's very close to that dots, if it's makes sense.
So you're saying that the platform actually gives, like, could give different recommendations for a certain scenario, and then describe also the outcome of the different decisions. If you take this decision, this is what's going to have, these are the risks, this is the potential outcome. You take this one, etc. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
So it's
And
a,
it's not like every minute it's gonna be different, because we are living in a dynamic world. And you're gonna do this podcast, and we probably gonna meet, like, I don't know, like 20 50 episodes from now. And I really hope. And it's going to be changed, because every one of us learn more, every one of us change his potential, change his risk through the time. So CereBI learn it and know how to um, amplify those objects, those personas, and how to make them better, how to make them in the right position, um, uh, that they can educate themselves, how they can learn, how they can bring more confidence, money, time, themselves, and to the company. and and we think that the best outcome will be when the individual and the company will work together, like in the same vector.
It sounds like it's almost like a future-proof solution, essentially.
It
It never
is.
becomes old. It's constantly learning, constantly improving, constantly growing with the organization, and changes as the data changes, as the circumstances change.
It is. It's a
Exciting.
living thing.
So that leads me to my last question, which, it's always, I always find this the really the most interesting part is what's your personal story? So what inspired you to build this company, to build CereBI?
CereBI, I did not discover CereBI or this problem in a whiteboard session. It's not like pop up in a one moment. Through the time, like I give a few examples, like I experienced it repeatedly in environments when a failure was not an option. Like at Genomics, I helped scale the what become the Israel largest COVID-19 testing operation. We already talked about it. Reaching as some around like 80,000 tests a day, and there's a lot of operation behind it. Later, I ran manufacturing business and at the e-commerce industry. And during the war over here in Israel, I support national scale defense as procurement under extreme operational constraints, embargo, etc. And these were very different environments, but I kept encountering the same pattern. This is the thing that I saw all the time. Like this is different industries, and I saw the same pattern in every one of them. Critical information was fragmented across systems and people, while decision makers were forced to assemble reality manually, like an Excel sheets. I see it. It's still like you can see it all over. After enormous time pressure, like data from all over, and you need to do it on Excel sheets. There is no way to do it. So after seeing that in the same problem in healthcare, manufacturing, and defense, I think eventually I accept that it wasn't a bad luck for me, and it's not only a thing that you can see in SMBs companies. I think it's a global operating model, like the whole world working like that. And my background in intelligence and in AI in the army and also in other platforms made me believe that this was no longer an unavoidable fact that of organizational life. So I go to a validation process. I took with me Dor, my partner at CereBI, and we spoke with executives all over the world, like operational leaders across retail, manufacturing, healthcare, logistic, defense. We visit warehouses, examine systems, really like go deep into the data and see how they work, like how their daily work and how they operate the whole business. And everywhere we went, we found a different version of same problem. And we understand, all right, this is something, this is big, and we're gonna change it. And this is why I built CereBI. It is problem that I really hope that in my last roles, I really hope that CereBI was a platform that I can use. It will definitely save me 1,000 of phone calls or few years of my life, for sure.
I think this is really exciting, and I think you have a lot of great things coming in the future, and I wish you lots of success.
Thank you.
And thanks again for taking the time to speak with me today. I know you're extremely busy. I know because you don't answer my emails right away, so I've experienced that. So all the best, and hopefully we will talk very soon again and get some updates on your progress.
Ilan, I want to thank you very much. Thank you for your time, and sorry for the emails. Uh, Next time.
Take a note. All right.
Bye.
Thanks a
Thank you.
lot. Bye bye.
Bye.